chapter, and so I figured as the education moment I can go into a little bit more detail, because often what we see as members is just from our own perspective. We have a diverse group of people in the room, a diverse number of businesses within here, and so what we see from our own perspective is probably just the tip of the iceberg. So the membership committee, we have 5 areas of responsibility. I just spoke about it briefly. Can I get somebody to volunteer what one of those are?
Solving member disputes.
Yep, definitely. Disputes, complaints that
renewals.
might come up. Renewals is another one, yeah.
New member applications.
Sorry, Debbie?
Attendance.
Attendance, yep.
New member applications.
Yep. That just about covers it. And then participation of the existing members as well. So, screening applicants to the chapter is one of our responsibilities. We've all sort of gone through that system, or most of us have. Hopefully we'll have some more people going through that shortly. It involves interviewing the potential member, checking their references, going through their application, and then an overall discussion. What we really need from the chapter from that as well then is your feedback on potential members. Because if you've done business with a potential member and had a really poor experience, it's important actually that we hear about that as a membership committee team, because if we don't hear that from you, we may go through that application, we may talk to the references and approve somebody that you might have a real struggle actually passing business to. So not saying we want to go out there and pick on anybody, but we do need to actually make sure that the applicants, the businesses that are going to be joining the seats in the chapter are people that we can refer to all day, every day. We also want to evaluate the participation of the members, so that's the PALMS report. Are we actually showing up? Are we attending? That's crucial. It's one of the main factors of the power of one. So if we're actually coming to our meetings, or if we're not coming to the meetings, part of my job is to be the stick, I guess, or the whip in sending those nasty letters that you get. So it's not to be mean, it's just to keep us each accountable to each other so we're actually coming to the meetings. That goes for actually participating in the one-to-ones and stuff too. So if we feel like if there's somebody that's really having a struggle with meeting the other power of one measurements, we want to make sure that we can help them, because all of those factors are what builds us to succeed as a chapter and as individuals in the chapter. One of the other main things that we potentially can do, if it arises, is evaluating and helping deal with complaints. So there's a formal process in place that if you have an issue with another chapter member, for sure talk to me about it, and we want to find a resolution, because if it doesn't get dealt with, it festers, and then you're going to have a real tough time passing business to and from those members. We want to get those things dealt with and come to a conclusion that everybody is hopefully happy with. There is the circumstances where potentially if somebody had a whole bunch of complaints happening, well, are they right for our chapter? So there can potentially be that resolution where somebody could be asked to leave the chapter if there was those situations where there was lots of complaints going on. And then evaluating members who are up for referral. That's something that we're going to first see coming down the pipeline here in the next 3 or 4 months as we reach the first anniversary of the chapter being in existence. And really at that point we're looking at how's the participation, how's the PALMS reporting, are we meeting our goals on the traffic lights to make sure that we're a growing and thriving chapter. So that's the membership committee as a whole. I get a lot of help in the membership committee from Jean, Debbie, and Sean, because if we have a lot of applications going on, I can't do all of the interviews and the reference checking as well as running my own business. So really appreciate their help. And then Rod also oversees that, so he's sort of the guy that holds us accountable as a membership team. So that's us in a nutshell, and that's all I've got for today.